Hey everybody! I know we haven't really done any videos on this stream in probably a fair bit of time. My name's Henry. This is my husband KB's channel. Thanks for taking a watch. I know we do a lot of gaming streams, a lot of ARPG streams. Something we're going to try and get into, KB and I as a couple, and kind of addition to what we do on game streams, which we may do a bit more of here in the future. Used to be a big Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh player back in the day. It's been about 10, 12 years now since I got out of those, and when I graduated college, kind of moved on. It takes a lot to kind of drag me back into the trading card world, and as you may or may not know, Ravensburger partnered with Disney some time ago, and here just recently, I believe August 1st, August 6th, about a month ago, was the initial release for their trading card game. Hey, Adam, thanks for joining us, man. We're just talking a little bit about kind of the transition of the channel, doing a little bit less. I'm getting the signal I'm talking too loud. A little bit maybe less on the game stream side and a bit more on the card game side. And kind of the backstory with Lorcana and this partnership between Ravensburger and Disney for a new trading card game. So the first release, the first print of Lorcana, pretty much sold out anywhere you go. I was actually on the road for a work trip here a couple days ago, and as I was bouncing around seeing people, I was trying to stop into Walmarts as I had time. Probably checked out at least 4 or 5 of them through Central Florida area, and believe it or not, every single one was sold out, even in areas you wouldn't think there'd be a lot of demand. So it's great to see a trading card game get that type of traction early on. Kind of makes it a challenge. Getting what you need to build a deck to get started, is even the starter decks are unavailable pretty much everywhere. So I was able to find a really cool little independent gaming shop up in DeLand. Give a shout out to them here, see their business card. It is Ultimate Gaming over in DeLand. Great group of folks. They weren't able to get any of their initial product from distributors, but they bought some stuff on the secondary market and had to pay a little bit of a premium. But I'd like to do things like that. I'd like to support local gaming shops. So I wasn't able to get a full booster box from them. I was able to get 18 packs, and I was able to get here, I don't have a lot of room to show, but I was able to get 2 of the starter decks. So I'm going to open up these, and then I'm going to open up the booster packs as well. We actually are going to get a couple extra boosters, 1 in each of these starter decks. So let's take a peek at the first one here, see if I can get this open while you guys have all have visibility here. So I'm not really sure which one I'd say is the best starter deck. We've looked a little bit at the deck lists of what's included. I think red and green and the yellow and purple deck are both pretty good. Not necessarily as excited about the blue-gray starter deck. And I see a lot of the pack openings that I've seen people do. Everybody tries to get engagement. Everybody asks about what people's favorite Disney movie is. That's cool and all. What I'd like to ask, and once we get this over to YouTube, feel free to hit the comments section, is what do you guys want to see? What Disney movie would you want to see in this trading card game? So they've got a lot of the classic animated movies that are being represented, not a lot of the Disney Pixar stuff, and it sounds like they're probably not going to get into Star Wars, not going to get into Marvel. It seems like those are going to have their own card game representation. Let's see, we got Ariel. Do we have foil Moana and foil Mickey? Well, yeah, we do. I didn't realize that the starter deck was going to have foils as well. So Moana, I think for some of the princess decks and for some of the yellow decks, you can kind of see there, is a really good card. And I think there's a lot of really good things you can do with the purple version of Mickey Mouse. And Adam's actually talking a little bit about the Chapter 2 banner. I did not see it yet, but I've heard that Raya the Last Dragon is going to be represented as more cards from Mulan. And KB's really excited because we're going to have more representation from Winnie the Pooh. So I'm thinking a kick-at-butt Eeyore card would be really great. So we got Cinderella. Hades, he's a really good 4-drop for the yellow-green deck. Hi. Got the Maximus. And I see a lot of folks, as they're building decks and trying to make budget versions of yellow-green or even yellow-purple, very solid 3-drop Mickey Mouse 3/3 that quests for 2 lore. So we got Minnie as well. What game would be complete if it had Mickey but not Minnie? Stitch, great 1-drop. Be Our Guest. Now I feel silly, because I literally just purchased a couple copies of Be Our Guest as a single for our yellow-green deck that Casey and I are building. Oh, Woody and Pinocchio. What's the name of the whale from Pinocchio? That would be an awesome card. And if that's not a legendary or that's not an enchanted big old whale guy, that'd be disappointing. So Control Your Temper. So I'll show these a little closer here. Hakuna Matata, great card. Not really what I'm looking for in the yellow-green aggro type deck you're building. Monstro, that was his name. And Part of Your World, great card, not inkable, so again, a little bit more difficult to use in some of the more aggressive decks. We got Dingle Hopper. Now we're getting into the amethyst or the purple cards. We got a big version of Dr. Facilier, excuse me. Let me pronounce it right. We got the 2-drop common. Floatsome. I'll see if our buddy Jetsom's in there too. They couldn't give us a Floatsome without a Jetsom. We got the low version of... Yeah, there's our guy, Jetsom. Magic Broom. So we got 1, 2, 3. I think that gives us a full set of Magic Broom. And we've got at least 2 of the Mickey. That's a really great kind of an engine or a package that I think we're going to see in a number of purple decks. Mickey's got a really great ability, the Wizard Mickey, where he makes all your Magic Brooms cost 1 less ink to play, and it makes it able to come back to your hand when they get destroyed in the challenge. So looking at Dr. Facilier and Ella as shift cards, I think that's going to be really cool, and I think one of the things that, as we've started to build the decks that we're going to run and just kind of playing early on, I think it was a mechanic that I completely overlooked as being something really, really powerful. Shifting is where you take a character that's got multiple versions. So you've got it like Dr. Facilier we had here. So we've got this. That's Jafar. That's not the guy I want to talk about. So we've got this 2-cost version of Dr. Facilier. Dr. Facilier says if you've got a version of him already in play, instead of paying 7 ink to play him in the field, you can put him on top of another version and only pay 5 instead. So it allows you to play bigger characters much earlier in the game. I think that's going to be something really, really powerful. And what that also does is if you've got a larger character, if I can talk, a larger character in play early on, that also allows you to sing higher cost cards, things like Be Prepared or let's say A Whole New World, that have pretty game altering effects. Be Prepared is kind of like if you're a Magic player, it's the Wrath of God for Lorcana. It's a full board wipe of all characters. A Whole New World is game changing. Both players discard their hands and draw 7 new cards. So we've got the 3-cost Maleficent. Got Olaf, another cool early game. I'm actually a little bit more favorable on Pascal. I think Evasive is going to be underutilized, but I think it's really powerful. Our good friend Rafiki, one of my favorite Disney characters. We've got Sven, the Wardrobe. We've got Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, and I think one of the most powerful songs and very easily accessible is going to be Friends on the Other Side. So for the Yu-Gi-Oh players out there, look at that text right there. Draw 2 cards. That's a straight up pot of greed that you can play fairly early in the game. So that's a solid starting deck with some nice pieces that we can add to our trade binder. But what I love, and I think it's something that I'd love to see more games do, every starter deck comes with a booster pack as well. So you get that adrenaline rush of cracking a pack open and seeing what it has. So let's see if we can do this. As you can tell, I'm kind of doing it upside down, but we can try it out with these first couple packs, see what we get. We've got a common Elsa. I'm going to start slow on some of the booster packs. Then we'll kind of speed it up as we see more of the commons. 2-drop Genie, Aurora. In case you have to yell at me or flag me down if I'm not visible in the frame here. 1-drop Stitch, Cerberus. I know one of the, not necessarily from the movie I'm going to talk about, but one of the movies I'd love to see is I'd love to see representation from Fantasia in some of these sets that are coming down the pipeline. In some of the Disney shorts, I know Steamboat Willie, as you can see from the playmat, is represented. So there's a whole hodgepodge of Disney shorts. But I think the one movie I'm most excited about seeing is I'm really excited to see if they can introduce characters from The Jungle Book. That's my personal favorite movie. I think Phil Harris, the gentleman who voiced Baloo, not only in The Jungle Book, voiced Baloo in Little John and Robin Hood as well. And I believe he still voiced Baloo when Tailspin was on. I could be wrong there. One of my favorite voice actors, and I just think that it does a phenomenal job in that show. So we got uncommons. We've got Frying Pan. We've got Shield of Virtue, Ursula's Cauldron. I think when we do one of our decks that we're putting together, I think we're going to do red, purple. I think we're going to probably end up running 2 of these. Kind of reminds me, if you've ever played Magic way back in the Kamigawa era, we're talking 2007, 2008. There was a card called Sensei's Divining Top that always lets you adjust your top card. Anytime you have the ability to do that on a regular basis, I think that's a really powerful effect. So our rares, we've got Jasmine. Oh! Casey, you see that? We got a Rockstar Stitch. That is currently going for about 15 to 20, and that's great because, as you saw, we talked about Shift. This guy, you're going Shift 4 on a Stitch that's already in play, and I don't know if we ripped one out of this pack, but as you saw in some of the... Yeah, we got him right here. The 1-cost Stitch, a solid opening play for a a yellow-green deck. Get him back in view frame, Henry. There you go. In a great late-game draw engine, a way to get cards in play. So basically, Stitch is all about getting onto the board and then playing all your 1 and 2-cost creeps, having them come into play exerted and getting a card for it. Let's see what our rare is. Hercules, not necessarily exciting, but I'll take that that Rockstar Stitch any day. Love the artwork, and I will say, out of a lot of the card games I've played...
Oh, the Hercules.
Oh, the Hercules.
It's a foil, right?
It's a foil, but it's only a common foil. It's not exciting. So, Adam, and since you're the only one here, we'll chat a little bit. Have you seen that? And I didn't even pay attention to it. You can tell the number of sides. Let's zoom in a little closer on the get into focus. On the icon down there, actually indicate what rarity is. So your commons, they're a circle, one-sided. The uncommons, a storybook, technically two-sided. Your triangle is going to be your rares, wherever there are here. There you go. And then each step up, it's more and more sides. So any of the enchanted, which are the, I don't want to necessarily say chase cards, but let's say the more valuable cards in the set, the ones that are going for, 100 plus, those end up having 6 sides. So that's not bad for just the starter deck. And that gives us something we can kind of hang out at the league and play. For those of you who don't know where we're at, we're over here in Florida, and we've got a great local games. Actually, we've got we're lucky. We're blessed here where we're at in Florida. We've got, I'd say, 2 or 3 really, really good game stores. The one that we tend to work with is a great location called Cool Comic and Games. So I know we weren't able to get any of the stuff that they got in, but when we initially started purchasing, we were able to get a booster box from our good friend Tom over at Cool Comics and Games. So shout out to all of our buddies over there. So now we're opening. Let's get some of the extra stuff out of the way over here. So we're opening the, let's see, the Emerald Ruby deck, or the, I'm just going to cheat and call them green-red. So this is going to be It's strange to me that they chose to make the starter decks red and green and then yellow-purple. Red and purple seems to be the kind of dominant color combination for more control and removal-based decks, and yellow-green seems to be the color combination that we're seeing more frequently for aggressive aggro decks. Well, yellow-green and also yellow-gray. So let's see what we're getting out of this starter deck here. So we've got Aladdin, great 2-cost. Oh, nice. I'm a huge fan of Cruella de Vil. I know a lot of the decks on the green side may not be running her, but that's even cooler that we got a foil of her. And we've got a foil of the 7-drop Aladdin, one more card that you can shift. Kind of reminds me, again, I'm going to reach back in time to kind of the Ravnica era of Magic the Gathering. A lot of the white-black cards had kind of like a bleed mechanic, and I want to say I'm literally reaching back into the recesses of my brain, and check me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was a white-black card called the Orzhov Ghost Council that every time it came into play, you gained 2 life and your opponent lost 2 life. Very similar to what this version of Aladdin has, if you can see its text there. So what else we got? The Duke of Weaselton. Great first turn play. I don't think we're going to be playing a full play set of him in the yellow-green deck. We've got Horace, which I had to search my brain to see what movie he was from for a second, because it had been so long since I've seen 101 Dalmatians. That's another, I think, an interesting movie they could represent. It's curious, they've got representation from the villains in 101 Dalmatians. You've seen the Cruella de Vil, Horace, and I think Jasper's in here as well. But they only have one dog. The only dog character from the show is Pongo. So Perdita's not in here yet. None of the pups are in here. There's a ton of characters from that movie they could have. So, yep, Jasper. Mad Hatter is a great card. Another card we're going to be running in the yellow-green deck. If I get ambitious and I feel like I have things I can talk about, I might do a deck profile of what we're going to run. It's not necessarily a super original yellow-green build, but I've always loved Zoo kind of aggro decks, and lets us run a bunch of copies of Lilo and a bunch of copies of Stitch, so that's always a fun place to be. So we've got Meg, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Very cool. Kind of you can see that kind of matches with the artwork here on the mat. Peter Pan. Cool card. Evasive, again, a cool mechanic. I don't think we're going to run him, though. Mother Knows Best. Another card that I ordered single copies of before I was able to stumble into some product up while I was on the road. See if you can see that. So Mother Knows Best is a really cool song. You can sing, kind of bounces characters back to the hand. We got a little bit of a glare there. Early game, mid game, late game. It's a great way to kind of control the tempo and kind of buy time where you can rush the field. So we got 3 of those. Now I feel silly for ordering singles, but you do that sometimes. Stampede, Steal from the Rich. Yeah, Vicious Betrayal. Just a heart-wrenching scene that I think we all, as children, was a bit traumatizing to us. Kind of surprising they decided to put that image on a card, but, you do you, Disney. All right, let's get into the red stuff. We've got the 3-drop Aladdin. Captain, again, surprisingly from 101 Dalmatians. Interesting choice there. We've got Donald Duck, LeFou. Got our good friend Pongo, the old rascal, another elusive card. Rapunzel, but obviously not the Rapunzel that we're looking for. The Rapunzel we're hoping to see today is going to be the 4-drop yellow version, which is up there towards the top in terms of non-enchanted singles, in terms of price. We got a Scar that happens to be on fire. Another card from 101 Dalmatians. That's not a Dalmatian. Sergeant Tibbs. we got a Stitch. I think these are we're going to be running these in our yellow purple deck. So we'll have should complete our play set of Dragonfire. He's got a sword and Shield of Virtue. Now, Shield of Virtue, the last card here in the starter deck, is another item I think we're going to run probably 2 copies of. One of the cool strategies, and Adam, I know you've been looking at a lot of the videos on Red Purple. I've seen some really cool things where people may have a high-cost character like a Dr. Facilier or an Elsa or a Maleficent in play. They'll swing Quest for Lore, then use Shield of Virtue to ready that character, and then use that character to sing Be Prepared, which is, again, like a Wrath of God. It's a complete field wipe, so it lets them Quest for Lore, reset the board, and they still have a good amount of ink to where they can reestablish board presence in the same turn. So all in all, I think the red and green deck and the yellow and purple deck are solid entry points, solid starter decks. Let's see if we get any sort of lucky on this particular booster pack the way we did on the last one, and then we'll see if we can get some good pulls on the packs that we were able to get from the store. I will say, and I think KB will agree with me on this one, I do appreciate the durability of the packs in this game. It seems like they're a little bit more difficult to open. There's a little more, I don't know, maybe substance, just a little more heft to them than some of the other card games out there. I'm looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! Where your packs and your cardboard quality is super flimsy. So we got our guy Sergeant Tibbs. We got another Stitch. Maybe that's a good luck charm for us. We got Yzma, Sudden Chill, Donald Duck, Captain Hook, Flynn Rider. Very solid choice for a green deck. Eye of Fates. That's a solid card. Got the uncommon Mickey Mouse, Poison Apple. Oh, we got a super rare with Mother Gothel. I think as we see organized play develop, and I think as we see rules for side decks develop as well, Mother Gothel's effect is, while this character is exhausted, opposing characters can't quest. With 6 defense or 6 toughness, this is really going to make it hard once this card gets in play exhausted for aggro decks that are focused on flooding the board with low-cost characters. This is going to be something to be tough to get around. So I see this being a great side deck option once we get to the point where side decks are doable. And we got a Bell Tinkerer uncommon. That's a foil as well. That's not too bad. So we got a super rare in both of the packs that we got with our starter decks. I'll take that as a win. We'll set those off to the side. Get rid of some of our schmutz in a very clever way by throwing it on the floor. And again, the booster box that I picked up, not a full booster box, has I think it's 6 of the packs that had already been purchased. One of the things that's unique is even if you get a full booster box, they're not shipping these things shrink wrapped. So I know some of the folks, let's pull this into frame here. Even when you get them, they're sometimes a little bit flimsy. As you can see, this one, yeah, part of it's traveling, but the glue on the side here doesn't really hold up all that well. So there's, I don't know, I guess you can't really scale the packs on this because every pack has a foil. But it does kind of make you wonder if the packs in there, if you're trying to get a full box, if they've been tampered with or not. Some of the rumors going around that I'm hearing are that Ravensburger doesn't want this to be a collector-only driven game. They don't want people to be buying product and hoarding boxes, hoping to resell it, kind of the way that's happening in the Pokemon world. Folks have bought sealed product and just sat on it and letting it hit the market years later and hoping to make money. They don't want people to see this game necessarily as an investment. They want people to play it. They want people to enjoy it. And it is going to be somewhat targeted to a younger player group, obviously with the content and such. But even the choice to have a foil in every pack, anybody who played Yu-Gi-Oh! And to some extent maybe the WoW TCG, where a lot of the loot cards were thicker. They had scratch-offs on them for in-game content. One of the big things that used to be prevalent in TCG communities is scaling. I did it. I'm a bad person, I admit it. But you'd be able to take a digital scale that weighed down to, say, like the 100th of a gram, and you could pull all those loot cards, or you can find all those foils and either sell them online as singles or just build your collection quicker by buying fewer packs. By having a foil in every pack, I think it's one more thing that Ravensburger has done to make sure this game stays accessible to everybody, and you don't have some of those, I'd say, more toxic or more power gamer mentality things going on in the game. So I'm rambling more than enough. Let's go ahead and start opening some packs. Casey's shaking his head here, telling me to shut your mouth. We want to see some cardboard get opened. Let's see. There we go. So I am hoping for the Rapunzel, but I'll be satisfied with any good cards that we see here. But really, I'm just happy that we were able to find some stuff to kind of build out our play sets of commons and uncommons, and maybe get some cool stuff along the way. So we've got Aurora, Tangle, another Stitch, Archimedes. I've seen a couple different ways of Archimedes being used. Some folks are maybe leading that with that as the 1-drop because he's a 1-drop 2/2. Other folks in the red purple deck are leaning more towards Olaf, a 1/3, kind of a little bit more durable. Yeah, Stampede, Break, Donald Duck's our first uncommon, Elsa, Flynn Rider, I like to see that, Flotsam, Scar. Oh, that's not necessarily a money card, but I think Friends on the other side is going to be a solid card. It's going to always see continuous play, so having a foil, even of that as a common, that's pretty cool. If I were a betting man, I don't know what Ravensburger on the organized play side has in store as far as creating any sort of restricted list. But I know anytime you've got a single card that doesn't have any sort of cost attached to it that draws 2 cards, those tend to get hit early on. Having it being able to be sung with a 3-cost character or played, or I believe it's even inkable, so you can use it as a resource. Just a solid all-around card. Let's see what we got on our second pack. So I'm not going to pronounce that. That's just going to be Phil. Solid 2-drop character. He's got a sword. Control your temper. Another copy of Friends on the other side. Mickey Mouse Steamboat Captain. We got Goons. Another card that it took me a while to remember what movie they were from. And it had been years and years and years. I don't think I'd ever watched Sleeping Beauty unless I'd done it as a little kid, which Maleficent is scary as all heck. But Goons were actually her minions from Sleeping Beauty. So we've got Captain as an uncommon. We've got Befuddle, solid action card for purple. Jasper, Ursula's Shell Necklace, Tika, another super rare, and a foil Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot. Oh, we got a spammer in the chat. Bomb them. Bomb them. All right, we got Work Together. Gaston, Hakuna Matata, Magic Broom. I think what I'm probably going to do with Magic Brooms is I'm going to keep them in sets of 4 because I imagine when trading with folks, if anybody ever wants Magic Broom, they're going to want 4 of them. Sudden Chill. We've got Eye of the Fates, another Mickey Mouse, a Beast. We've got a gray version of Maui. This actually happens to be the largest character that we've got out there right now, an 8-cost 8/8. Oh, I saw the 6 there. I was kind of hoping that was going to be a giant Tinkerbell, but still, that's a legendary. That's a solid draw. He's got some uses, and we got a foil Olaf. Not bad. I like Olaf.
You're showing too flat.
I'm showing cards too flat. Let's try to make them a little bit better. I think one of the things we're going to have to do at some point if we do any more videos like this is we're going to have to get a raised camera. We're using a itty-bitty tripod here, but making do with what we got. Let's see what we got. We got a... So you want me a bit flatter?
No, more in the angle.
More angle, okay. So we got Flounder, more Sergeant Tibbs, Dinglehopper, got Yzma,
And you're going too fast.
Stolen Scimitar, we got Captain Hook, Grammatala. I think Grammatala is going to be an interesting card for blue decks that are looking to ramp up on ink. So Grammatala lets you take, and when the character is banished, whether it's a card effect or in a challenge, you put her directly in your inkwell. So basically, she becomes a resource after she's been in play. So good pitch there. Cinderella, Ransack, got another Jasmine, another Mother Gothel, and a Control Your Temper. So we're getting some good super rares here today. Let's see what else we can find. And I think the enchanted cards, the full art versions of the 12 of the higher cost, higher ink cost creatures, I would say that I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, the pull rate on those, I'm seeing from folks that have opened a fair amount of packs. We're talking a couple hundred packs. Typically about 1 in every 46 packs. So about 1 in every 2 boxes. So we got Magic Golden Flower, another Scar, Timon, Dr. Facilier, we got Megara, you got Tinkerbell, but not the awesome version of Tinkerbell. We got an Aurora and a Goofy Musketeer. That's probably something we may consider using in the green-yellow deck that we're building. We got a Donald Duck, Cruella de Vil. That's always useful. Let It Go. That is a solid pull right there. Even though it's a rare, it's one of the more utilized songs and kind of a great mana ramp for blue decks that are looking to build mana quickly. And a foil Maui. That's a nice looking card. Again, he seems to be the biggest creep right now in the first set. We've got Detective Mickey, Peter Pan. Peter Pan is stuck to Mr. Smee. That is weird. No comment. Elsa. These are stuck together too. What the heck? Mickey Mouse. Captain Hook. Scepter of Arendelle. Be Our Guest. And a Simba. I don't like that all these cards are stuck together. Simba, Fishbone Quill is our first rare. Aladdin, we needed another copy of that for our red purple deck. And a foil Phil. Not as exciting, but you know, Danny DeVito did a hell of a job voicing him in Hercules. Fun fact, I believe the movie Hercules was actually banned in Greece because it was so inaccurate in compared to what the actual mythology around the Hercules was. I still thought it was a great movie, and I would say the song I Won't Say I'm in Love is probably one of my guilty pleasures. I have been known to jam that in the car when I'm driving on the road for work. So we got Mufasa, Abu, Timon, Tinkerbell, Peter Pan, Fire the Cannons. Very awesome removal choice, especially if you pair that up with the Captain Hook that can pull that back from the banished pile. Shield of Virtue, like we said, a great kind of a combo piece for control-based decks. Ursula's Cauldron, again, very solid choice. Tamatoa, I'm less excited about him. I see some of the aggro decks running him just because he is, if he can get up there, he's a bit of a beefcake, a 1/4 for 2. Just in time I think is really underrated. I'm glad I pulled one so I can have a couple in the trade binder. For the way I want to build our deck is going to be using these guys. You can pay 3 ink to put a 5-cost creature in play for free. I think that is really great for early game tempo. So that's a good pull. Oh, nice. The Power Unleashed Genie, pretty cool. Sudden Chill, not bad. But that Just in Time I think is really nice. Casey, I haven't cracked the Rapunzel yet.
How many packs do you have left?
We have, I'll tell you what, we'll do this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, wow.
7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 packs. So we haven't even hit the halfway mark yet. I'm knocking Mike's cattywampus here. So we got 10 packs after this one. Seen 3 Lilos out of 9 box openings. I think right now, if I look, because I kind of poked around at TCG Player to see where prices were at before this video, it's still hovering right around 19 to 20 for Lilo, and I think it's probably the highest dollar value of the regular rares. I'm glad I picked up one when I could for about $8 or $9, but I don't know what I'm going to do about the other 2. So we got Mickey Mouse, Peter Pan, Simba. Right now, believe it or not, Simba as a common is one of the top selling cards on TCG Player. I hate to ever say that anything is the best, but I would say in an aggressive deck running yellow, 2-cost Simba is probably your best turn 2 play. We got Jafar, Aladdin, Cerberus again. We've got Rapunzel, but again, not the awesome one. Our boy Rafiki, Dr. Facilier's cards. Zeus. I don't think I've really seen any decks making good use of Zeus. I think maybe down the road, I don't know, it'll be interesting. I don't know if I see too many decks using the mechanic Challenger where things get increased attack where they challenge. Maybe it's kind of cool as a mid-game removal option, but I'm not too terrible impressed with Zeus. Well, that's not a bad super rare to pull, Mickey Mouse. So we might have the full play set of our sorcerers. Not that I'd really run 4 of this guy, but nice to have 4 of them in case I need them. And a foil magic golden flower. So not bad. I'll take that as a decent pack. Yeah, I agreed. Lilo into a turn 2 Simba is perfect. The fact that you can chump block so many things with a Simba with 3 toughness makes him just a really, really solid move for turn 2. So let's go ahead and get this back here. We got Mufasa again. We got a whole bunch of cards stuck together. Hoping this isn't because they were in my car for a bit, but that's shouldn't be the case.
Florida Heat.
Oh, that's why we like commons. All right, so we got Pongo, Simba again. Oof. Gosh, I hope the rares don't do that. The Wardrobe, Aladdin. I didn't even really leave him in the car.
Probably wasn't you.
It was a very good possibility. So we got Aladdin, Kristoff, Tigger is an uncommon, Uncommon Pascal, Cheshire Cat, another card I picked up a couple copies of. Oh, the 1-cost Maleficent. So Maleficent, not as valuable as the Lilo, but it's very similar. So we've talked about the 1-cost Lilo that's hard to find, and a lot of people are running it. So it's literally just a 1-cost 1/1 that can quest for 2 lore. Same thing, Maleficent's got the same stats, basically just a purple version, but because purple tends to be less aggro early game, this card's getting a little bit less use. Still a solid card to have in the collection. Oh, great. The 5-cost Maui. He's great mid-game. He's got Rush and he's got Reckless, so he can quest, or not quest, he can challenge the turn he comes out, and he can he has to challenge if there's something able to. So he's a great way to get threats, great way to address things like a Simba or something that's on the field. White Rabbit's Pocket Watch. That's exciting. That's something I think we're going to also be running 2 copies of as well in our red-purple deck. So having a foil, that's pretty nice. That was a good pack. I'm excited about that one. All right. Got Merlin, Mini, Sebastian. We're going to speed up through some of the commons here to see the good stuff. Got Bell, Maximus, Starkey, Captain Hook. Oh, that's a nice card. That is the super rare Aurora that gives ward to all of your other characters. Very, very solid play for a blue deck. That, I think I'd have to look, but I think that's going up there at least in the $20 range, if not a bit more. The Uncommon Beast is cool, but not too terrible exciting. That Aurora is a good pull. I think that makes 2 that we now have in our collection. We got Develop Your Brain, Flaming Scar, Healing Glow, the 2-cost Dr. Facilier, Horus, Hercules. We've got Fan the Flames, Anna. Maybe that means there's an Elsa in here. That'd be nice, right? Mad Hatter. Oh, look at that, Adam. My good luck charm giving me good vibes today. I thank you for that. We got Iago. Oh, and a foil Robin Hood. I don't think we have too many foil super rares. I'm not necessarily sure where his niche is going to be, but a solid solid foil. I'll take that as a pack in a heartbeat. That is a $20 card. Not going to single-handedly pay the cost of our packs that we got today, but between that and Rockstar Stitch, that's pretty exciting. Let's see what we got here. We still got 1, 2, 3. This is last 7 packs that we have. Clean my workspace up here. Take all these wrappers. Throw them on the ground. I'm getting the evil eye. You guys don't see it, but I'm totally getting the evil eye right now. So we've got Jasmine, Elsa, Control Your Temper. Got Maleficent. When this card is played, you may draw a card. Another thing I love is anytime you have free card draw attached to a creep. So I think this is definitely something I see any purple deck running if they're looking for not necessarily an early game, but maybe a turn 3 or turn 4 play. A 3-cost 2/2 that draws a card. I think that's a great investment. Tinkerbell. We've got Simba, Chief Tui, Prince Philip. Now, I'm going to go out and say something I don't think a lot of people are giving enough credit to Prince Philip. I don't think there's hardly any decks that I see on the deck builder sites that are running him. Granted, I think there's better 4-cost options, and he isn't inkable, but I do almost look at him as targeted removal. What Prince Philip does is when he challenges a creature and he is banished, or he is destroyed, then you banish that target creature. So you can choose the creature you want to destroy and swing into him with Prince Philip, swing into him, her, it, whatever it happens to be. There's a lot of... Shut up. A lot of animals and deities and all sorts of weird non-human creatures. So swing into them, whatever they happen to be. If they're a giant fire god like Takei, or even if it's little Princess Jasmine, take her right out of the equation. Banish him with a running into him. You got Smash. Got the rare Maleficent. That's just a 5-cost 3/6. Swings for 3. Not super exciting. Oh! Oh! This is a good day. So Elsa is a linchpin in the red-purple decks. Another really, really awesome ability. Exhaust 2 characters, and they don't untap or they don't unexhaust the following turn. Another great creature. Swings for 3 lore. Quest for 3 lore. Use that shield combo we talked about earlier, Shield of Virtue, to ready them and then sing Be Prepared. Just a lot of synergy. Really, really great card. And she has Shift as well.
Remind us what rarity she is.
So this is a legendary, and I think we've got maybe a couple legendaries, but this one's exciting. Not that I care so much about the dollar aspect. This is going for anywhere from, I think, 45 to low-end 50. That Rapunzel that we're chasing on the yellow side, she's a $50 card. She, right now, seems to be the most expensive of the non-foils. Elsa's definitely in the running at a close second, so that's a good pick. I'll set that aside. We're sleeving that and putting that in the binder. He's got a sword. Cool. Not nearly as exciting as that Elsa. So that's a good pack. I'm excited about that. We got a... what do we get? We got a rare and a legendary. I was going to say, if we'd gotten a super rare and a legendary, that would have been a really good day. Like Adam, like we said, now I think we've gotten some good cards. We got some things that we need. Let's see if we can rip that enchanted card and get something cool. I'd love to get the enchanted Surfer Stitch, because I think he's got one of the best artworks out there. We got Maleficent. We got Aladdin, Minnie, Friends on the Other Side, Meg, Kristoff. Cut to the chase. We've got an Olaf. The Beast is Mine. Rare is Lantern. Hans is a great... I think Hans is actually pulling a decent price right now. At least 10 is last I looked. Nothing exciting. Hans is just a beast. 4-cost card, 3/3 that quests for 3. And we've got a foil Moana.
You gotta show that card off.
I got to show off the foil Moana.
Yes.
Really cool artwork. I think that's probably one of the coolest scenes they could have picked from Moana, to be honest. Surprisingly enough, I don't think there's any songs from the movie Moana. I don't think Shiny was on there. And I think Shiny with all the item decks that are out there, and Tamatoa, that giant crab dude, I think that would have been a really cool song to include. Have no idea what they would have it do, but I just think it's a cool song. And the other movie, and we were talking about movies we'd love to see represented in Lorcana. I'd love to see Toy Story. I think with Buzz, Woody. I think the claw that you pull the little alien guys out of the vending machine with all the little aliens. The claw. I think that'd be a hilarious action card to actually take control of one of your opponent's characters for a short while. That'd be hilarious, and I think may actually end up being a bit overpowered, the idea of taking one of your opponent's monsters, but still really cool nonetheless. I'm rambling. Let's get back to packs. Goofy, we've got Hey Hey, Freeze, Vicious Betrayal, Goons, Dragonfire. Good to have multiples of that. Sven, Mother Knows Best. The 3-cost Dr. Facilier, which is really cool. That lets you look at the top couple cards of your deck every time you sing. So imagine using him to sing Friends on the Other Side, looking at the top cards, manipulating your draw, and drawing 2 cards. Very powerful. Oh, that's another one. So Be Prepared is that card we've been talking about. A 7-cost song allows you to banish all characters on the field, complete board reset. And the reason that's so powerful in a red-purple deck is they're really, really great late game. So if you've got an aggro deck that's drawing into 1-cost or 2-cost creatures, it's harder for them to recover from a complete board clear late game when all they can do is put more 1-cost and 2-cost creatures in play, whereas a more control-heavy deck has things like the big characters, like Mickey Mouse, like the 7-cost Dr. Facilier, the 7-cost Aladdin, and Elsa. A lot of cool things. Oh, and there we go, the Captain Hook Duelist. Now, this is a... Nope, I lied. This is the Ruthless Pirate. One of the cool things is there's 3 different types of cards in Lorcana in terms of the characters. There's Storyborn, which is how they appeared in the feature film or the story they're in. There's Floodborn, which is kind of heightened versions. But the Dreamborn is some of the really, really cool stuff that you see. And I know one of the Captain Hooks, the Dreamboard, is him as a duelist, and he doesn't even have a hook hand. He holds a sword. So interesting stuff. I think there's so many characters that they can add, but more importantly, there's so many different variations of each of the characters in the Disney universe that can be portrayed. Alright, so we got Donald Duck. We've got another, he's got a sword, a Pumbaa, 4-cost Javard, Duke of Weaselton. He was the bane of my existence for the first early part of the game. I needed a couple of him to run the deck, and I couldn't pull a common version of him for nothing. So we've got Beast Smear, Coconut Basket, solid item. The voiceless Ariel, not the singer version, but the one that cannot sing songs. Our boy Kronk. The Musketeer Tabard. Well, this is the singer version of Ariel. This is a solid super rare. And a Cerberus. So we're getting things that we either don't have or things that we can use. So that's cool. 3 more cards. Are we going to get that enchanted? I don't know. We only had come across 1 enchanted so far, and it was the enchanted version of Hades, which I think may get better over time, but he's gets more powerful based on how many villains you have in play. And right now, there just aren't as many villains. More Duke of Weselton action here. Captain Hook. This is the one I was talking about, the Forceful Duelist. So we've got Triton. I don't think I've seen that uncommon now. 9 defense. That is beefy. You Have Forgotten Me. We've got the Dreamborn Lilo, the Galactic Hero. Sword of Truth. Musketeer Mickey Mouse. And Jumba Jakiba from Lilo and Stitch as our foil. Alright, 2 more. Big money, no whammies. So Maleficent, Aladdin, Minnie, Jetsam, Horus. Fire the Cannons. We got a Moana. Reflection. Itty Bitty Tamatoa. Got our 5-cost Maximus. That's pretty good. That's another nice card. So we've got the giant version of Tinkerbell. So there's a really cool combo out there for decks that are running Tinkerbell, basically allowing you to play the lower cost version, shift into this 6-drop on turn 4. When Tinkerbell comes into play, she does 1 damage to all your opponent's characters, and then she can, if you've shifted her into play, that turn you can sing Grab Your Sword, which is a song action that does 2 more damage to all your opponent's creatures. So basically you're doing 3 damage to everything on their board, effectively clearing their board. So that's a really great card. I think that makes 2 of her that we pulled as well. So that's pretty cool. 2
Scar.
Casey's excited about Scar. I'm super excited.
Not the Hulu.
The Hollow. The Hulu. I love my husband so much. So those are some really cool cards, and that Maximus is something we probably will use in our deck that we're building. Last one. Get that Rapunzel. Get me 1 more card closer to being done with our deck. what do we got here? We've got Work Together, Pongo, Hi, Freeze, Stolen Scimitar, Simba, Grammatala, always nice, Mickey Mouse, Starkey, Moana. I'll take that. That's a legendary. That is Ursula. She's still really solid. Oh, look at that for our Holo Adam. High five. Foil Elsa Club, my guy. All right, so that is one more Elsa we have for our deck. Get a great picture of that. That is exciting. That, I think, I'd have to check. I know the non-foil version's going for 50. I bet the foil version is pulling at least 70 or 80 right now. Will those prices hold as we see more product drop? I don't know. What I'll say is really cool right there is I'll take a legendary and a foil legendary in the same pack any day. So this, I think, was really cool. Again, I want to thank the good folks at Ultimate Gaming in DeLand. Thank you guys. I know kind of weird seeing some guy in a suit come into your store and buy a bunch of Disney-themed trading card stuff, but I really appreciate you guys. And I know you were one of the few places I think I've seen that still had product. If you're up in the DeLand, Florida area, check them out. If you're down in our neck of the woods, definitely check out Cool Comics and Games up in Cape Coral. That's going to be it for this video, folks. I think we had a great run. We got some really good stuff, and I'm really excited. Until next time, thank you for joining us. Let us know. Give us comments. Shoot us a note. If you guys want to see more card pack opening videos, maybe some deck profiles, or if you want us to just shut up and kill some monsters in Diablo 4. Heck, maybe we'll do both. It's good to be back, and I know KB is going to say the same thing. It's great to be getting in front of folks again. So, had fun. Thank you so much.